Hey guys, welcome back. So today's video is all going to be about paper clutter, what you should keep and what you shouldn't be keeping in your house. So without further ado, let's just get into it. So let's start off with the junk papers that we are collecting that we shouldn't be. That includes expired coupons, catalogs. I mean, let's face it, you guys, coupons and catalogs, they're all online now, so we really do not need to be hoarding them on top of the fridge or on the microwave or even at your little office space in your house. This also includes unnecessary mail, unnecessary flyers, car dealership ads. I am known for this. Like when I were to get like a couple little things from my Honda in the mail, because I do go to Honda for oil changes, they would send like 50% off or 40% off of this, like things that I just didn't need, and I knew that I was not gonna use that coupon. Either give it to somebody that will use it or toss it in the recycle bin. And the last thing that we shouldn't be keeping, and I know this is a touchy subject for most people, but that is your kids' artwork. This is a little bit different because I do not have kids. Obviously, you guys kind of tell by my lifestyle that I do not have kids. We do plan on having kids, but not for a very, very long time. I'm mostly speaking of acknowledgement when it comes to me knowing my niece and nephew and how the whole situation goes with the artwork. Yes, they do make me things every now and then, but they make my sister, which is their mother, a lot more things than me. And I'm not jealous, but I do see her stressed out the most when it comes to their artwork because she feels bad of getting rid of it. And I told her the best thing that you can do when it comes to your children's artwork that I have read about is to have a frame in each of your children's room. Put their artwork of the day or of the week or even of the month in the frame. Make them feel acknowledged that they did a good job. You do not have to keep every piece of artwork because then you will have bins and totes all in the attic, all in your house, under your bed of children artwork that you probably aren't going to even know that they made in a couple years from now or forget that they even made it. I would say the best bet is the whole frame situation. I've seen a lot of people do that online. And another thing that I have read and seen is one particular picture from each age. So one particular picture that they drew when they were one particular picture that they drew when they were 2, or one little piece of artwork. It doesn't have to be something that they drew. One little thing that they made at school with that age. I mean, you could keep 3 within that 1 year age, 2 year age, keep 2. You guys get what I'm saying. I hope you do. But that's what's going to help you out when it comes to the kid artwork. I know it could be stressful. I know your fridge could look like an art project itself. And so anyways, you guys, with those junk mail, if you have any of those kind of flyers, children artwork, car dealership flyers, coupons, expired coupons, recycle them, give them to people that are going to use those coupons or that enjoy using those or enjoy those stores. But when it comes to catalogs, I mean, call that catalog company and tell them you don't want catalogs anymore because everything is online. Now let's move on to the always keep personal documents. This is how I keep mine. The other side is see-through, so I'm not gonna quite show you the other side so I don't leak my personal documents online. But everything that you need to own and you should own should literally be in a small protective folder. If you have a lot more assets, we'll explain in a little bit. Your folder might be a little bit more chunkier than mine, but mine is simple. I will let you know what is in my folder as we go along through this list. And obviously I cannot physically show you what's inside my folder because again, it's personal documents. It's not for nobody else but me. So the first thing that is in that folder and that you should always keep, everyone should have this, is your social security card. It has to be a legit one. I know in Massachusetts, it's unacceptable to have your social security card laminated. I don't know about other states, but I know here. You cannot have it laminated. If you want to go sign up for paperwork or you need that social security card, it has to be out of the lamination little thing. That's just the rules here. I don't know why, but that is one thing you need in your personal documents. That's something you do not throw away. That's something you do not make copies of and keep it around your house. You just need that one little original social security card tucked away nice and neat in a little personal folder. Another thing that you should always keep is your birth certificate, because the social security card, the birth certificate, those are two important things to have, especially when you're applying for a house or applying for something that needs an additional information about yourself, your proof of identity. So this is something you do not want to misplace or you do not want to throw out. So again, those are the two things that I have in that folder in a separate little slot. The next thing that you should always have in your personal document folder is your diplomas. Whether you have just a high school diploma, like myself, I have my high school diploma in there. I took it out of that little tacky high school diploma case that they give you at graduation. I chucked that in the recycle bin and just kept the paper that showed that I graduated. But as for me, I like to keep it in a personal document. So, or when I need it for certain paperworks, it's just right in there. So always keep your diplomas, your college, your high school, everything in a nice, neat folder. Now, another thing that I keep in my personal folder, this is something that I've been doing, I want to say ever since I was a teenager, because my memory is just horrible and I do not like to keep these things on my phone. This is a password and username sheet. I have all my passwords, my usernames to every account, my YouTube account, my Google account, my Instagram. I'm trying to like name everything I have. All my accounts are in that personal folder along with my social, like everything is in one little compartment. So if I do not remember my username or password one day on any of my platforms, I can just go into that folder and type it in. That is a little bit more securing for me because I do not like having things on my phone. My phone has never been stolen, but I've had a lot of other things stolen from me, like my headphones, my charger wires, and I can just imagine if someone was to get their hands on my phone and if all of my information was on my phone, I feel like my channel, I feel like my whole life would be screwed. So I rather keep that in a separate folder, and that's just what I've been doing for years. I know I probably could be a little bit more lenient with that, but then again, this is just what's been working for me, and I think I've learned this from my mom because she does the same thing. So that is the whole personal documents that you should be keeping when it comes to paperwork. Anything other than that, put to the side. So when you go through your paperwork, put everything that I listed in one little compartment. Now, I'm not going to show you the other side because it's personal tax information, but I have this like clear little binder paper, if you guys can like see here. These are at the dollar store, or as of right now, you can definitely order them online. I'll have them linked down below, but that's what I keep in there to make sure everything is nice and neat and the pages aren't ruined. Like for instance, I'm gonna go back to the page and you guys can see how perfectly neat and protected it is. That's just something that's very, very important. But I will get into tax papers in just a minute. But I want to let you know my personal documents are in the same little, I don't know if it's called laminate. I could probably be saying it wrong, but same little clear protectant pages. It does have like the little binder parts here. You can cut that off if it bothers you. But these things are a lifesaver when you have personal documents and you do not want to ruin them. The next paper section that you always want to keep is your vehicle info. Now, this includes the title of your vehicle, which I have mine in one of those little clear laminate things, and it keeps your title perfect. Maybe one day in the near future we will have digital titles, which would be awesome. But until the near future, we have to keep our car titles with us in case we want to get rid of the car one day. And the next paperwork that you are going to want to save when it comes to your vehicle is the loan and payments. You want to save your receipts. You want to save all the work you've been doing as well. If you are doing payments on your vehicle, save everything, especially if you're doing a lease. This is going to be your backup. When your lease is up and you bring the car back, they can't come after you because you have every paperwork. And I've seen a lot of people at my old job go through this, where they automatically were charged for damages that they didn't do, or things that they already did do and they just didn't have the paperwork to prove it. And I was also a victim of this as well. When I first had my car payment, I had a Cadillac, and it was a horrible, horrible situation. I'll link that story down below. I did a story time of it like a couple years back, and that whole vehicle situation made me a lot smarter with the way I buy cars, the way I keep my paperwork with vehicles now. So those are the things that you want to save when it comes to your vehicle, is the title, and you want to save everything you've done to that car when it comes down to even the oil changes. As for me, I stopped saving all of that because I no longer do payments on a car. I bought my car outright at Honda. I just go there for my regular oil change. When my oil change level is at like 30 or 40%, I go there, get an oil change, and that's it. When I do get things fixed on my vehicle, I do tell them to send me a digital receipt so I can keep it in my archive folder through my email. You want to keep those receipts, and I was keeping the car receipts for a while until they started to fade. The AutoZone receipts started to fade, and it was just aggravating me. So always ask for a digital receipt for now on, because that's going to save you some space in your folder, along with saving you a headache when you need that paperwork right away. Now let's get into tax papers. This is different for everybody. Everyone has their own preference when it comes to doing their taxes and saving their paperwork. I prefer everything digital, and I know a lot of people do not agree with that, and that's fine. We are all different, and that's the most beautiful thing about us, because we can learn from each other. There are certain tax papers that I have saved because that was before I went digital. So I'm keeping those just in case, because those are not in my system with TurboTax. Whether you do your taxes on Tax USA or TurboTax or whatever tax platform you decide to do online, I do my own taxes. It's fairly easy, especially with TurboTax. This is not sponsored. The minute I sign in when it's tax season, I already have all of my tax stuff in little folders from 2017, 18, 19, 2020, well, when 2020 ends. They already have a folder for that. So I had a binder from 08 to 2016, and that binder was thick because I used to go to a bunch of tax people around. And even though nowadays I still don't get any money back, but I know where my money's going to, and it's more of a sense of clarity for me. It helps me keep track of my taxes rather than me dealing with the whole big binder situation, and that binder just gets bigger and bigger as the years go on. So for me, I keep it digital, but I don't want to just talk about the section about what I'm doing. If you do want to keep your tax papers and you do not believe in the online world, that is perfectly fine. I would say that taxes is different for everybody, like I said in the beginning. So whatever you spent your money on, keep the receipt. If you are old school, keep the receipts. Keep everything in a special neat folder just for that year. The IRS recommends keeping supportive documents for at least 6 to 7 years. So if you are willing to hold on to your tax papers for that long, and that's what you believe in and that's what you should do, just maybe go through it all, see what's already past the 7-year mark, shred those, and move on. But moving on to other paperwork that we should be keeping forever, I made a list for this, so I'm going to name the list. If you guys are going through your paperwork pile right now, this is something you want to put onto the side because you are going to want to keep this, and that is your marriage/divorce papers, whatever your status is, mortgages of current house/owned houses if you own more than one property. You want to keep all of those mortgages, investment statements, passport. I keep my passport in a little passport case in the closet to keep it nice and protected. I'll have that case linked down below if you guys are interested. That's actually considered my wallet when I go on vacation. Another thing you want to keep forever is receipts for major purchases such as home improvements, whether you had the roof done. We all know roofs are really expensive. Keep the receipts, you just never know. Another thing you want to keep forever is your wills. I feel like that's common sense. I do not have a will because we just don't have like a little family yet, but when we do have kids, we will have that. Another thing you want to keep forever is medical records, not bills, but medical records. Whether you had a certain surgery done on your heart or your lungs, keep those records on file, not necessarily bills, because bills get paid. The medical billing industry is a little on the confusing side. I feel like that's something that the insurance companies should be dealing with. As for you, you should just keep your medical records. Another thing you should always keep forever is contracts and pension or retirement plan records. Those are a couple things that I googled online, or the ones that you should be keeping out of all of your paperwork, all the junk paperwork. If you find any of those paperworks put to a separate side, those are the ones you're gonna wanna keep, because those are the ones that are gonna save you butt in the long run. Anyways, I really hope you guys got something out of this video. Again, I will have certain paper little organization things linked down below if you wanna check them out. I will try my best to find my little clear gray folder. I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of questions on it. I've had it for couple years now, so bear with me. If I cannot find it, I will put something similar down in the description box for you guys. And on that note, I will catch you in the next video.